You got to turn the mic on. Well, that didn't work.
So much for 4-inch Reese's.
We'll have to save that one for tomorrow. Welcome to the closing beat. It is Tuesday. Hope you had a good day today. We're going to go over, now that you can hear me, we're going to go over all the good stuff here with the stock market, and we'll cover all that and then some. I appreciate all the support, by the way. We're almost to 100,000 subscribers. That is cool. Never thought that would happen. Really, I never thought. Also, we got to make this one kind of quick today. It's date night. Me and the missus, we made a reservation to a restaurant 4 months ago. And because if you live in Florida, life is normal, right? So 4 months ago, we make a reservation, forgot all about it. I didn't even have any shoes. So I'm going to have to take off the hoodie, man. Dress up a little bit tonight. Anyways, enough talk there. FinTips videos, good ones. Bottom right-hand corner of your page here, we got 4 money moves to make before retirement. More like intricate and detailed there instead of just the general stuff. And then yesterday we did FIFO and LIFO. You know, that's important, right? There's these little things that you can do to make a little bit more money, or I should say keep a little bit more money. So I hope you check that out. It's on our YouTube channel there as well. In our research site, I did a post that posted this morning about the top and bottom performers in the S&P. What can we learn from that? What's going on there? Where's the rotation? If you're not a research member and you want to join, it's $13 a month, free for customers. We're not currently taking new clients right now, but if you want to join, the research site's pretty cool. We're working on kind of doing some cooler stuff with that as well, and so I hope you'll check that out. Let's start with the Nasdaq here today. So if we go over to the Nasdaq, loses about 0.5% on the day, broke through the 50-day moving average, and investors said, I'm going to go ahead and buy that up. However, they didn't really come after the really big tech stocks. They continue to be out of favor there. It's just a little bit frustrating if you're one of those that follows some of these big names. I don't really care too much, but Tesla, 1 point down, over 12% on the day, a little bit over 12% there, and it just got gobbled up. You had that lady that runs the ARK Investment Group, she's like temporarily the market god, and she told Bloomberg or somebody that she was buying more shares as Tesla fell, and so that helped kind of spark things throughout the rest of the day. There's a lot of people are following her, like what she's doing there, and so if for just a moment there, actually, if you look back, it was lower than the price when it came into the S&P. So that whole gain being erased there from the S&P. I do want to point out things like Amazon. This has just been a snoozer lately here, back to the 200-day moving average. Maybe that can be support for Amazon. You also have Microsoft, and I got to get a new keyboard. I keep forgetting. Microsoft down to the 50-day. Nice pullback, right? Technical pullback that people like to see on top of support. Looking good there, and otherwise in an uptrend. And so I have no real problems with that pullback in Microsoft. I think that would attract a little attention. Same with PayPal. Got a little too far too fast. What happens every time? If there's one thing you learn from this show, when a stock gets too far too fast, a currency like Bitcoin gets too far too fast, doesn't matter. It likes to pull back. We like steady, consistent uptrends. The market does not like parabolic moves, so definitely something to learn there. Also, travel stocks. Thinking about doing a post on this here. Names like Marriott, off to the races there, hitting new 52-week highs. This is in the Nasdaq, but if you look elsewhere, you're also going to see travel stocks doing well and continuing to do well. The Dow is up about 3% year to date. Held on the best today, I would say. Yeah, it did. It was the best performer, and just throughout the day had that extra meat on the bone to kind of hang on to its gains. A lot of interesting things there. Disney continuing with its momentum. Hitting new 52-week highs in the process, and just really good, strong performer here lately. That pullback that we had at the beginning of January, clearly being a viable pullback, looking good there. Yeah, your fun fact of the day about Disney, I've got one. It just hit me while I was saying Disney. I was in the park, right? Like my mind had left everything. In Liberty Square, there's actually no bathrooms in there because that's true to the time. There would have been no bathrooms. They would have just filled the buckets with your stuff, and they would have just poured them in the streets. I know I've shared with you in the past that the streets are actually colored like waste going down the street. That's intentional, right? And so there's no bathrooms there, so you have to like pass through and go to Adventureland or go off into the backside of the park and everything. But there you go, kind of a simple one for you today. Back to the Dow, you've got Home Depot. Oh, there you go. Home Depot comes out with earnings. They were the biggest drag on the Dow today, down 3%. breaking through all this support. We'll cover the earnings here in just a little bit. But that's what you have in the Dow. If you look over at the S&P 500, there you go. Growth stocks continue to take a hit. Actually, growth stocks across the board were the worst factor of the market today. Value was the best area, and that was it, right? I mean, that's the theme in the market right now is people don't want Microsoft, Tesla, a little bit of Facebook, right? Facebook held in there. But people are not interested so much in that. They want to go play the more interesting things, and it would seem more into the travel stock category. If you look at names like Wynn, new highs. Why are they making new highs? Right? Travel stock. We want to stay with the gamers here. We can go to Las Vegas Sands and look at them. New 52-week, no, not quite new 52-week highs, but almost there. You could look over at the cruise lines. Royal Caribbean, out of nowhere, just starting to take off, looking good there. Hope you got some of that. Alaska Airlines, if you want to look at the airlines, also nice and strong there. Southwest Airlines, you can actually buy a Southwest plane if you want, but 3.5% gain on the day. So travel, economy reopening, that's the focus here, at least as of today. Another way you can see that is on this kind of cool tool that we're working on, where we break the S&P 500 into sectors and then into industries as well. If we look over here, the far right, you've got the range. Where has the stock been over the last week, right? So we're looking at the color-coded area there over the last week, and then the shaded area in the background is the last 1 month there. Well, if we were to look down here at industrials, let me get my thing out of the way here. There we go. Is my mouse going too? No, we're looking good. So if we look down here at industrials, you got airlines. Where are airlines trading? If you skip all the gobbledygook here, you say, well, I don't know. Let's go to year-to-date returns, those that are really strong. So American Airlines, the first best performer there with 32%. Alaska Airlines and Southwest, we already mentioned. But over the last week, it's trading at the upper end of its range. In fact, it's trading at the upper end of its range over the last month. So you can really clearly kind of see where all the action is without having to look through everything like I do every day to see where's the action, where's it moving, where's the money coming from, where's it going. If you look over at consumer discretionary, that's where you're going to find the others in here. You got hotels, right? So hotels moving to the top of the range. MGM, I did not mention that one a second ago. Royal Caribbean, Carnival Cruise, right? Otherwise very strong. Temporarily pulled back, and that's it. They're off to the races. They're moving towards the top end of that range again for them. If you look at the household durables in here, this is kind of interesting because this is like things you would put like a carpet, right? Mohawk carpet, for example, being the best performer there. Also trading towards the top end of the range, and very quickly you can kind of move through some of this. Tobacco finally coming off of its little non-interesting pullback there and moving towards the top of the range. So I thought that was pretty cool. Something I want to share with you here for the day. We move over to our sector breakdown for the day. There you go. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see what's going on in the center of your screen. Here are all the market sectors for the day. Energy ranks near the top here. I want to point out utilities. Utilities was the most oversold area in the market here in the short term. You get what I'm saying, right? Just over the short term, this is pulled back the most. I pointed this out yesterday and mentioned there was a little bit of interest there. We covered a couple different stocks inside of there, and today that's starting to wake up a little bit more. If you look at the biggest contributors here today, it's a lot of the bigger names that you would be familiar with in the utility space, WEC Energy, Duke Energy, things like that. Probably some of you that pay to those companies. But a little bit of a bounce. I don't know if this is considered a buyable bounce here. I'll just be honest. I think it's an odd sector to be oversold and get excited about. I get excited about it because it is oversold, but I don't know how aggressive one would be there. Consumer staples comes in second place for the most oversold sector there. If we take a look today, not too bad. Procter & Gamble, some of the other names we already mentioned, and these companies that you would say are more in the opening, the economy reopening, not necessarily travel stock, of course, but Molson Coors, all of a sudden, hey, that's getting a little bit more interest. You look at that, just wakes up, tries to fill the gap there. So I thought that was kind of interesting. If you're looking through there, Estee Lauder's just killing it. Right? These guys, we happen to own the stock, so obviously it's going well for us, but these guys just killing it, man. And people spending the money on that stuff. If you go over to healthcare, this comes into third place for the most oversold here in the short term. You can see it there, right? Just that quick little pullback to break the 50-day moving average. And so I wanted to point that out. Big returners here today. In the insurance space, the insurers, Cigna and the like, United Healthcare is in there somewhere as well. And biotech, if you're wanting to dig through a little bit more. Lastly, I'll point out energy. Energy is looking good, sitting at new 52-week highs. Price of oil moving a little bit higher on the day, I believe. And any of the names inside of here today are going to be driven by earnings. So Marathon Oil, for example. There we go. So Marathon Oil's earnings related hits new 52-week highs. Diamondback, that was my pick for the year. Going well. Obviously, it's looking good there. They had earnings as well. Kind of a volatile day for Diamondback. And then Occidental Petroleum, I point out because I know a lot of you have this stock. That one was a little bit lower today. They did have earnings come out and saw a little profit taking there. But that's pretty much it for the sectors. I'd like to go over to some of the renewables because that is a tough area, but getting a little bid. So here are the wind power, right? So the wind power ETF, it's called FAN, aptly named. And so that's just been crushed here over the short term. Too far, too fast. And pulling back. So you like that pullback. If you're one of these renewable people that are really excited about that, you're going to be looking at that as well as TAN. So this is solar power. Again, big pullback here over the short term. Very oversold area of the market. Maybe something to consider. New highs and new lows for the day. 47 of them on the list. And it's a lot of the same. A lot of what's been working is what continues to work. I'll point out TJ Maxx just because I think that's an interesting technical pattern there. So look what happened. This is what we were talking about on a couple other stocks. You got a nice move higher. It pulls back, then uses all of its energy just to get back to the highs. What do I always say there? You like to see it take a break and rebuild some energy. That's exactly what TJ Maxx did. Looking good there. Marriott, new 52-week highs. Interesting little breakout there. Maybe one that you watch for a pullback before doing anything. If you look at something like Cisco, not the tech company, but Cisco, the food company. Nice tight technical pattern here where you've got that energy and momentum hopefully building up. Now we just need a little bit of volume. It breaks out to highs. You think you'd be pretty excited about that. So maybe a watch list item there. Pioneer Natural Resources, also a bit of a technical pattern as well. Extra volume, that's what you want to see on those other ones we just mentioned. And Chubb continuing there. So this one started yesterday, breaking out of that very, very tiny range. A little bit more continuation today, despite the markets not being too sure of what they wanted to do. Moving on. So we go to stocks in the news here. Home Depot. So Home Depot, they beat on earnings. So if you look at something like Home Depot, they beat by 28 cents. Store sales up 24.5%. Didn't give guidance going forward. Investors want to see that. Analysts want to see that as well. So that's probably the main reason that stock took a bit of a hit today. Wells Fargo's decided they're going to sell off their asset management company. They're kind of it's like a fire sale, really. $2.1 billion to two different companies. It's a bit of a discount. So not good for the stock. It's obviously taken a little bit off today, but I think they got a good deal, the two that bought them. Looking at Diamondback Energy there, I showed it a second ago on the sector breakdown, but looking at Diamondback, they raised their dividend by almost 7%, so that's awesome. We'll take that for sure. They beat on earnings as well. No, they missed by a penny. That's right. I thought that was right. So they missed on earnings by a penny. Revenues as expected. They raised their dividend. People are excited about that. I'm excited about that. All right, Spotify. A bit of a wild couple days for Spotify. So up to new highs, closes negative yesterday, gaps down today. Doesn't almost go back positive, but regains a lot of its losses there. If you look at Spotify, it was downgraded by Atlantic Equities, and they said the stock price has gone too far, too fast. They don't like it, right? And now that's my words for what they said, but they just said this is too far for a stock like Spotify given where they're at. Shopify, there you go. That one was down by about 6% on the day. What are they doing? They're selling off a bunch of shares. They're going to raise about $1.5 billion. That raises their cash on hand by 25%. Well, it seems like the stock price is doing well. People are out there. What's going on? They're raising money because they can, right? How many times have I said that and you see that? These companies are raising money from people like you and me because people are willing to gobble up their shares. They're willing to take a little bit of a hit here to raise $1.5 billion. Raise money and borrow money when you can. All right, Carnival Cruise Lines, one of the travel stocks doing well, added about 2% on the day. They said, hey, people are excited about the possibility of us doing well in the future. We need the money. We're going to sell 40 million shares. They're going to sell it at $25.10. That's $1.1 billion. Why? Because people want to buy those shares and they can borrow the money. Think about that, right? Lastly, you may have seen it in the news. CCIV is the ticker symbol here. This is Churchill something or other. This is a SPAC. They're taking Lucid public, or they're merging with them so Lucid can be public. It's going to be $15 a share. Look, hey, I know you guys get excited about these electric cars and everything, but they're no Tesla. You might want to do a little research before you read a headline and make a investment decision there. What else do we have here today? CDW paying out 40 cents in dividends there tomorrow. The Fed chairman spoke today for a long time. It was very boring. Basically just said they're going to continue buying bonds. He took a lot of questions. They were not questions you should be asking him. They have nothing to do with him. So he declined to answer, and it was a boring morning if you want to look at that. But that's pretty much it. I'll take your questions and see what I can do if... where are you guys? Where are you guys? There you are. Let's see if I can answer your questions and then be on our way. It would be cool to have flying taxis. Now, don't knock the flying taxis. I know it's a moonshot kind of idea, but I would like to fly a flying taxi. The one where it's like a guy on a motorcycle, but it's 4 drone blades? Like, bucket list, right? I would do that. I think that'd be so fun. I don't know how you can do that, but that's good stuff. You look at okay, got a couple stocks there. So we already looked at Las Vegas Sands. You want to look over here, if I can type it, for gosh sakes. Avis Budget there. So new highs today. All that kind of fits into the travel category. So when I say travel stocks do well, it is the casinos, the airlines, the cruise lines, things you need to travel. You might need a rental car. You might want to book the trip or whatever you're considering doing once you get your vaccine and can go cruising and all that good stuff. I would continue to hold those stocks. The momentum is building. It is not like hitting a peak. It's not climaxing. It's building at the moment. So you want to keep that in mind. Yeah. Victor says, more of a career question. I have a CPA. Should I get a CFP or CFA next? I would lean towards the CFA just because that's more interesting to me. But you have to obviously determine what you're more interested in. If you like that sort of thing, you go that way. If you like the planning aspect, go with the CFP. Both are not easy to get, by the way. So I would lean, and also think about what you're offering. Like, what's your business to do there? If it's going to be planning, then that's a no-brainer. But I like it. Yeah. Are we open back up for new clients? No, not at the moment. Hoping before summertime is the goal. Yeah. I have 2 dreams in my life. The one is you're on an airplane and you hope nothing bad happens to the pilots, but for some reason they can't fly the plane anymore, and they just open the door and they're like, hey, hate to ask everybody, but does anybody want to try to land the plane? I mean, my hand is going up full speed. I mean, I will land that sucker. And the other one is, of course, you're at a concert, like your favorite band, and the drummer can't play, and you're like, I know the songs. I'm in. Let's do this. I think that'd be awesome. Those are my 2 things. Yep. Sono's still climbing. You want a discount? I know. It's the same as the markets there as well. Some people say, pull back. Sonos is very extended. That's a good run. And it makes it attractive to you when it pulls back, if that's what you're waiting for. So you don't give up on, it's never going to pull back, I'll just dive in. You say, well, this is attractive. There's some momentum here. I need my opportunity to get in, and don't just let it be one day. Let it settle in. Look at all the stocks that we just pointed out that were extended in the short term, and they're pulling back. Notice how it's many days and weeks. It's fine to just let it pull back. You want to add a position in NEE, meaning you want to add more. I like it. Yep, I like it. Even though it's pulling back without the sector, I like that pullback there. I don't know where that question went, so I can't say your name now. You like Merck? You've got some calls there. Let's see what you got going on there. Excited, got in a little bit early. March, $75. Oh, you're fine. Yeah. You're fine. Yeah, I think there's no problem here at all. You're right basically at the money. You got a decent amount of time left. So I have no problems there. You like your Home Depot discount? Yeah. Hey, you don't know. Maybe I could fly a plane, right? I've flown planes in the past. I darn near got my private instrument rating. So, it might have been 10 or 15 years ago, but keep the wheels down, right? That's all you got to do. You expect the tech growth trade to sideways for a while. It has been. So it's already sideways. So Amazon's a great example. So it wouldn't be an expectation. It would be reality, at least at the moment. Is Alibaba a buy? I have a hard time with this one. I want to get excited about some of these Chinese names in here because they have obviously great volatility. I like that. But you're assuming that this is going to be the start of a new uptrend. That's basically what people did today. See if you can just sort of picture a line there. People were just saying, all right, that's good. We made a higher low, and this is the new higher low inside this uptrend. I'm good with that. I think that's a little bit early. I would be cautious there. It'd be a nibble, right? How would you say? You buy a little bit and then sit back and see what happens there. Oh boy. Hey, at least I didn't get you guys fired up about politics today. We're talking flying taxis. That I can relate to. They're safe, you hit a button and it's fine. They have these things in airplanes. You hit a button and it goes back, just do it. Just fly the plane. How fast after legalization we expect American cannabis stocks to hit their strides? You have some what we'll say extreme inventory there. So I don't even think if it was legalized in its entirety, and you could just go to Walgreens or whatever and buy it. I think it's still going to be a long time. You got a lot of supply out there, and now you'd have a whole lot more competitors diving into the game there. Oh, well, Mars, you just wait. Me and you are on a plane one day and that door kicks open and they say, who wants to fly this plane? I will fight people to land that plane just to have a shot. You'll see who's talking then. You'd be pointing right at Dustin. Go, right here. He said he wants to do it. Let him have a shot. Everybody else will panic. I will glide that thing like a smooth little bird, man. The SEC... I think you got to bet on the SEC at the moment. They have the upper hand. Yep. I love it, man. All right, date night. I got to go, man. I got to go get dressed and look normal for a change. Maybe do my hair. Have a great day. I appreciate you guys watching us here and helping us get to 100,000 subscribers. I know sometimes this is a little bit of nonsense, but you're here. You put up with us through all the issues that we've had, and I appreciate it. I think we're going to get there, and I wish you a good rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.